Okay, let's go.
Thank you for making time.
Thank you for making
So
time.
you are the EU's top diplomat, which means you
Yes, I
have to
am.
help represent 27 different countries.
Yeah, just 27.
President Trump said the EU was formed in order to screw the United States.
Oh.
That's the purpose of it.
Yes.
What was your reaction to that remark?
Yeah.
Europe is a peace project. It was created so that we wouldn't have wars between the members of European Union, and we haven't had. And of course, also to do things together, cooperate more.
True.
Coming from a country that joined the European Union
What?
20 years ago, then we were actually, pushed by the Americans. You will not get into NATO, but Europe, the European Union, is something that you should join, because it's a good project also for the transatlantic relations.
Oh boy!
So I was quite surprised to hear a comment like
that. She wants.
Do you know what the president meant by it?
Well, you have to ask the president. So
she wants power. They all want power. They'll scam artists.
Your lenses from your optometrist.
What are you doing? Come on.
Oh no!
Walk with me.
I forgot about fucking ads.
Well, it seems to reflect that there is some fairly high tension with the U.S. at this point.
Yes. Not tension.
Yes,
it's just that Americans are.
We have always been good allies.
America's taking back
we have been
our life and stop. We're not being taken advantage of now by fucking scumbags. That's why it's happening.
Ukraine, whether it comes to
that is good. I like this one.
Also Middle East.
Thanks, Sonny.
And we see in the world. Well, we see powers like Russia, North Korea, Iran, more covertly China, working together. And I think this is the moment where we have to work together as transatlantic partners.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Secretary of State Rubio, you had announced you intended to meet with him while you were here, and then that meeting was canceled. Why?
Well, it was said that it's calendar issues, but I'm sure we are going to meet again, because we had very good meetings in Munich. And,
I forgot to do
there
that.
are a lot of topics that we need to discuss. So we are going to meet in G7 in 2 weeks' time.
So you don't think this was a slight?
Well, you have to ask Secretary of State, but I mean, we have had such good encounters before, so I don't really read into. I know that we are not on top of our calendars, so things might happen.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're here now. France's President Emmanuel Macron was just here. The Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, President Zelensky is flying here. Are all of the European leaders coordinating? And if so, what's the message?
We are coordinating, and of course the message is there are several layers. So one is that the fight that Ukraine is having is not only about Ukraine's sovereignty, but it's much broader. It's about freedom of the free world, really. It is about the world where international law applies, and the world where might does not make right. It is clear that Russia attacked Ukraine. There's one aggressor and one victim, and we need to really make sure that Russia doesn't attack again. And
yes, but you need compromise.
Efforts. I mean, putting politically and economically pressure on Russia to stop this war, but at the same time also help Ukraine.
Again, people always bully Russia, and they don't take responsibility for that.
It's factually accurate. Russia invaded Ukraine, but the Trump administration has decided now not to say that explicitly.
Yes.
Arguing that the president needs negotiating room.
Right. You need to negotiate.
That's persuasive to Vladimir Putin?
Well, it is certainly, a very strong Russian narrative that they want to really push, saying that, it's a conflict between two equal parties, and to create this chaos where it's very clear. It is very clear. One country attacked another country very brutally.
Yes, and in order to have compromise, you need to talk to everyone instead of demeaning people like
I don't think that anybody wants the killing to stop more than the Ukrainians.
Yes,
And
and then they
to,
keep
achieve that,
not
we
talking
should all
with
put
the
pressure
Russians.
on Putin,
That's a great
because he
idea.
can stop the killing by not bombing Ukraine and the Ukrainians.
That's not how
so
it
that they don't
works.
have to defend
You have to
themselves. So that's
compromise.
why
You have to find a
our
compromise.
Plan, our policy
It's ridiculous.
is to really put the pressure on Russia.
And you're not going to now, because America is finally standing up to Europeans and their stupid bullshit and their support of Muslims who are trying to take away freedom in America and in Europe and everywhere, really. Because that's what Muslims do.
They don't have the same revenues from gas and oil that
Ridiculous.
they used to,
Absolutely fucking
fund
ridiculous.
the war machine. So actually, if we concentrate our efforts, we can put the pressure so that they would stop the war, not to offer them anything, on a plate. In
Then
addition
you're not
what
going
they
to do that
have
anymore, you stupid fucking bully pieces of shit. Unbelievable.
Well, it does matter who is responsible.
If it did matter, then you wouldn't put all these Muslims in your country to destroy, in your countries in Europe, to destroy Europe. But you don't fucking care. It's like the Muslims take over and destroy the fucking whole
and it says very clearly that you can't
Europe.
attack sovereignty, territorial integrity
Ridiculous.
of another country. And if you do, there are consequences. And why is it important? It is important for small countries in the world for whom this is the only thing that protects them.
I should probably
If
do
we
this,
don't
but,
really
what to do
defend
these?
this principle, then we're going to see all these developments
Here.
that we don't want to see,
Let's do
because
this.
all the countries who are afraid of their neighbors will want to go for nuclear weapons, because this is the only thing that protects them. It's not the international law anymore. And all the countries who have appetite for their neighbor's territory will want to have a nuclear weapon, because it is the only thing, by threatening to use this weapon, you can have what you want, because this is what Russia is doing.
And yet, at the United Nations this week, you pointed out the U.S. aligned with new friends.
Okay.
Russia, Belarus, Sudan, North Korea at the UN. The U.S. voted with them and against a European-backed resolution about Ukraine that demanded the withdrawal of Russian troops.
That's right.
The Trump administration would say, it's a UN resolution. It doesn't have practical impact. Does it?
Well, yes, not so directly. It doesn't have a practical impact, but it clearly, is saying what kind of principles in the world we are supporting. And of course, we were co-sponsoring together with the United States the resolution to support Ukraine. And it was a surprise to us that the US suddenly changed the position. I must...
Because we have a president now instead of a guy who just fucking decays in the office.
Regarding the support for Ukraine. But when they met,
we won't be bullied by Europeans and their fucking coward ways anymore.
So the question is, where do we go from here? Our will and wish is to work together with our transatlantic partners for the principles that the United States has always stood for. I'm coming from the country that regained our independence in 1991. It was the time when Ronald Reagan was really pushing hard for fight for freedom. And we are so grateful for America for doing this, because we got our independence and freedom back, and therefore also the prosperity and the well-being of our people. So we are very grateful. And I don't want to see this. I don't want to let this go. That America, is not fighting for freedom and independence and the principles, the basic principles of the international law.
So President Zelensky said Ukraine has intelligence that Russia plans to send troops to Belarus and from there stage forces either to attack Ukraine or another European country. Do you share that assessment that Russia will continue its march through Europe?
Russia has been investing more than 9% of its GDP on military. In comparison, European countries are spending 2%. I think my own country is spending over 3%, but I think America is spending something around 3 or 4% of its GDP. So if you're investing so much on the military, you will want to use it again. And that's why it is very important how
these people are manipulative.
Here. In
We want to do this because we're stupid.
Nothing happened. There was not a strong reaction
Ridiculous.
from the West. In 2004,
Can't bully us anymore, you fucking bastards.
Attacked Ukraine.
You can't do
there was
it
not a strong
anymore.
reaction. So there was a
Fucking
ceasefire, but ceasefire only gave them possibility to regroup and rearm. That's why it is extremely important that we don't make the same mistake again. If there is a pause, so they are able to get their forces together again, we will just see more wars. Everybody wants peace, but the peace has to be a lasting peace. And for lasting peace, it has to put the pressure has to be put on Russia so that they don't do this again.
So the President Zelensky and President Macron.
Don't be like Henry, who still washes himself with dirty loofahs and raggy towels. Enter the
of France have both talked about creating Europe's own army, separate from NATO. Do you see that as likely?
I mean, NATO is a defense alliance, and it is comprised of 32 different armies of the NATO member states. So NATO structure is the military structure, and in terms of war, very important is who gives orders to whom. So if you have, those 32 armies that cooperate together, and you have one structure, then it's clear who gives orders to whom. If you have
now, it's the United States through the Supreme Allied.
Yes, it is true, but the structure is there. I mean, command structure, but also communication, everything that is necessary, how we work together. So if we say that we create a parallel structure, then when in terms of crises, then who gives orders to whom? Because the armies are just the 32. So that's why I haven't supported a special European army. I'm just saying that all the armies that are there in Europe, but also in NATO, need to work together.
So the EU right now does have sanctions on Russia, and Secretary Rubio has pointed to that, saying, look, Europe has a say in this. They're going to have to make their own decisions on sanctions. Do you think you can keep all 27 countries in line and keep that pressure on Russia?
We have managed so far, and of course it's getting harder all the time, but we have managed to keep this unity. And
Hungary's prime minister threatens, right?
That is true, but at the same time, I mean, we are also thinking of different plans, because for example, the sanctions, the frozen assets, for example. I mean, we see Russia causing damage to Ukraine every day. We know what this costs. So when we have the frozen assets, then it is, the proceeds can be used for really the damages that Russia has caused to Ukraine. And this
is 200 billion euros.
300 billion.
300 billion euros of Russian assets that are frozen.
This is the one?
Why isn't that already being tapped? Is it just because the banking system is averse?
There are several arguments, and some countries are not in favor because of the different risks. But I think in the end, everybody will come to the same conclusion. It shouldn't be our taxpayers that pay for the damages caused by Russia in Ukraine. It should be Russia who pays.
Let me ask you about the trade dispute that seems to be brewing between the U.S. and the EU. President Trump said he's going to put a 25% tariff on imports on cars.
Oh, what are you going to cry about now?
Do you think that a trade war is avoidable at this point? Do you plan to bring a complaint to the World Trade Organization?
What are you gonna do?
We don't want the trade war with the United States. I think there are no winners in trade wars. I mean, yesterday I was here and watching the news as well, and you hear the news that consumer confidence in the United States is dropping.
Wow, again, see, bullying tactics. They don't like what's happening, so they just tell us we're wrong. Again, these fuckers are just bullies and scumbags. That's all they are. Fuck them. They want Muslims. They want Sharia law. Let them have Sharia law. They can go fucking. You can go burn in hell.
You've been meeting with American lawmakers while you're in
fucking morons.
Do you get the sense that any of them are going to persuade
scumbags, absolute fucking scumbags,
to change his position on Russia?
There are strong supporters of Ukraine in, I mean, both sides of the aisle, and have been very, very much understanding what is going on. I don't know their relationship with President Trump, but I have seen the strong will that there is. Maybe this critical raw materials deal that President Trump is doing with President Zelensky will increase the economic interest of the United States in Ukraine. That will, in turn, also give, I mean, the interest, security interest to protect those economic interests that you have in Ukraine. So maybe that is one of the tools.
So that critical minerals deal the U.S. and Ukraine are supposed to jointly invest in doesn't have any security guarantees for Ukraine.
That's right.
It doesn't have, and I mean, we have been saying that you know, the security of Ukraine is also in the interest of the United States, because as we have been saying, it's much broader than just Ukraine. And when you know, our American counterparts are talking about China, but at the same time saying that, you know, we can't step up to Russia. I mean, China is much bigger economy than Russia is, and much bigger army than Russia is. If you're saying that we can't step up to Russia, how can we, you know, really be able to step up to China then?
And before I let you go, I want to ask you about Iran. Europe will have to make a decision in the fall about what to do if Iran doesn't agree to hold diplomatic talks about its nuclear program. What is your sense of whether
you're just gonna let them go, aren't you? Because you're fucking Muslims.
We are going to have a next foreign affairs meeting, a foreign affairs ministers meeting, and
you could just avoid the
question.
Discuss
Iran.
Yeah.
Our common position, how we approach Iran. It is clear the way Iran operates. I mean, helping Russia in the war against Ukraine, but also their activities in the Middle East. That we have to have a much stronger stance when it comes to Iran, because developing a nuclear weapon, it's extremely dangerous, and there is one of the points where we need to cooperate with the United States as well.
Oh wow, she actually fucking stopped being a bitch for a second. Alright, well, let's take a picture. Hopefully it will be enough. We take a picture while it's on its leisurely walk, whatever the fuck that means. Okay. I don't know why the quest doesn't show up. Anyway, let's go here. And now we'll listen.
Thank you.
Not this one. To this one.
Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to have President Zelensky of Ukraine.
This one. Good.
And we've been working very hard, very close. So we've actually known each other for a long time. We've been dealing with each other for a long time, and very well.
There you go.
We had little negotiation spat, but that worked out great. I think for both countries. I think for the world, actually, beyond both countries. And we have something that is a very fair deal. And we look forward to getting in and digging. Getting some of the rare earth. But it means we're going to be inside.
Wait,
it's a big commitment from the United States, and we appreciate working with you very much. and we will continue to do that. We have had some very good discussions with Russia. I spoke with President Putin, and we're going to try and bring this to a close. It's something
shiny for what does that mean?
Deal. But we've started the confines of a deal, and I think something can happen. The big thing is the number of
capture
soldiers,
the healthy
at this point,
shiny
soldiers
fur.
being killed. We're losing thousands of soldiers on both sides. We're losing a lot of soldiers, and we want to see it stop. And we want to see the money get put to different kinds of use, like rebuilding, the rebuilding.
I don't know. Anyway.
And we're going to be working very hard.
Let's see.
But we've had a lot of very good conversations. I will say until we came along, the Biden administration didn't speak to Russia whatsoever.
That's right.
They didn't speak to anybody. They just allowed this to continue.
That's right.
And I will say that, I'll say in front of you, you've heard me say it 1,000 times, if I were president, this war would have never happened. We would have had a deal negotiated for you without having to go through what you've gone through.
Maybe, or maybe, but probably not.
Your soldiers
Maybe not.
have been unbelievably brave. We've given them great equipment, but somebody has to use the equipment. They've been unbelievably brave.
Oh, yeah.
And we give them great credit. This was supposed to be over very quickly, and here we are 3 years later. So I give tremendous credit to your generals and your soldiers and yourself, in the sense that it's been very hard fighting, very tough fighting.
Blue
great
bullet
fighters.
Blue,
And,
blue,
we're
okay.
very proud of them from that standpoint. But now we want to get it over with. It's enough, right? We want to get it over with. So it's an honor to have you here. Thank you very much for coming. We're going to sign the agreement.
Take one photo of the full moon. Oh, I didn't know that.
In the East Room.
Oh, okay. I see.
Right after lunch. And we'll be having lunch together. We're also discussing some other things. And we appreciate everybody being here. It's somewhat of an exciting moment. But the really exciting moment is when when they stop the shooting and we end up with a deal. And I think we're fairly close to getting that. And an honor to have you. And please, would you like to say something?
No, thank you so much, Mr. President. Thank you for the invitation. And with that is
just gonna ignore this
document will be the first step to real security guarantees for Ukraine and our people, our children. We really count on it, and of course we count that America will not stop supporting.
Oh my God! Oh, you little!
I want to.
He got me. I didn't even notice that.
Of course, the infrastructure or security guarantees. Because for today, I understand what Europe is ready to do, and of course, I want to discuss with you what the United States will be ready to do. And I really count on your strong position to stop this. And you said that enough with the war. That is very important. To say these wars to Putin at the very beginning. At the very beginning of the war, because he's a killer.
Oh, oh my God! Holy moly! This is crazy. Oh, he killed them for me. Okay, that's cool.
To save our country, our values, our freedom, democracy, and
oh shit! Oh shit! Oh man, that was bad.
Will be later, and of course, what I wanted, we spoke about it by phone with you about production. I think the best one.
Oh fuck! Oh boy!
Yes, and
oh my God! Holy moly!
You have the best air defense.
Oh, okay. You have to like survive.
I want to speak how we can exchange the licenses, to share the licenses of all our drones.
And to find an easier way to kill these guys. Oh shit! Damn. Never mind.
Even after the war, we need.
Oh man, I have to do it all over again. That's annoying. Okay.
So that's why we need this air shield. And of course, about this, I want to speak
very
about
annoying, but it is what it is.
France and UK already spoke to you.
Yeah, this is pretty more
as we need.
More complicated than the last.
About our people and children, and you know that these crazy Russians that they stolen 20,000.
Or more challenging than the last.
They changed their names.
Ones.
They changed, their families, relatives, and now they're in Russia. We want to bring them back. It's a big dream task, and our world. We exchanged with more than 4,000 warriors from our prison, but there are thousands more in the prison. I want to show you some images. Can I now?
Yeah, please.
Have I good? Some minutes, 1 minute. Oh, shit. Just to understand what the war circumstances, in what situation they are, and what the attitude of Russia to our prisoners.
Oh, okay, that's how you do it. I see.
Before and after. Before and after, just you to understand. Now thousands of such guys, ladies and men,
Go.
there and that. So they
There we go, perfect.
beat them and a lot of.
Oh, he just kills himself. That's nice.
So
Alright, that wasn't hard.
even
You just had to
during the war,
figure it
there are
out.
rules. Everybody knows
Quickly.
there are rules during the war. These guys, they don't have any rules. You see that?
Okay.
50, 60 kilograms left. And
Okay, that's
a lot
good.
of such things.
Um,
And I didn't want to show you.
Yeah, let's
what
go
were
over
the changes
here.
with images of children, because I will share with you.
okay, I think I know what I
It's
have to
looking
do about that, but
tragic.
Yep, it's tough stuff.
Yeah, I wanted
I think
to
for
mention
now
to
we'll
give
go over
you
here.
see.
Yeah.
This
I'm
is
gonna fight
pastor,
this guy.
by the way. They stolen pastors because it's not Russian church. They
Yeah.
stolen pastors and moved pastors to the prison. We at the end of last year we brought 3 pastors and we could exchange them.
Right.
But this is
Just
pastors.
wait for it. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I mean this I wanted to show you and this. So thank you very much.
We wanna
Thank
get that
you.
into it, right?
Yeah, of course we
And
will.
I think we will.
Um,
I think we will.
Oh,
And
Have to, of course.
behind.
do you have any questions, please?
He is such a bully. He wants money and more stuff. What the fuck? Oh, right. Some weird fucking, I don't know.
Well, we don't know exactly how much because we're going to be putting some money in a fund that we're going to get from the raw earth that we're going to be taking and sharing in terms of revenue. So it's going to be a lot of money will be made from the sale and from the use of raw earth. And as you know, our country doesn't have much raw earth. We have a lot of oil and gas, but we don't have a lot of the raw earth. And what we do have is protected by the environmentalists,
Easy.
but that could be
Pretty-
unprotected.
probably
But still,
pretty
it's not
easy,
very
probably.
much. They have among the best in the world in terms
Among
of raw.
us.
So we're going to be using that, taking it,
Easy.
using it for all of the things we do, including AI, and including weapons and the military, and
Easy.
it's really going to very
Absolutely
much satisfy
sure.
our needs. So something that just worked out really well. We have a lot of oil and we have a lot of gas. We have a lot, but we don't have raw earth. So this has just about every component of the raw earth that we need for computers, for
And
all
this
of the
one.
things we do. This puts us in great shape. I think they're going
There's
to
a
have
bridge up there.
great
I
luck.
see
I think
that.
once we make the agreement, that's going to be
Oh,
95%
no, that's from
of
another
it.
place, that's
They're
right.
not going to go back to fighting. I've spoken with President Putin, and I feel very strong. I've known him for a long time, and I feel very strongly that they're very serious about it. And we'll make a deal. And when the deal is made, I don't think we talk about security. Everyone's talking about the other day. All they talked about was security. I said, let me make the deal first. I have to make the deal first. I don't worry about security right now. We have to have a deal because right now, last week, 2,000 soldiers died on both sides. 2,000, and they're losing 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 a week. So as we sit here and we talk, people are getting shot and dying on the battlefield. And you know, they're not American soldiers, but they're Russian soldiers and they're Ukrainian soldiers, and we want to be able to stop it. And we want to be able also to spend money on other things. We don't want to, this is a tremendous amount of money, and what the Biden administration did was terrible. They were giving money, but he had no security on the money. Europe, as you know, gave much less money, but they had security. It was in the form of a loan. They get their money back, and we didn't. And now, at least we're protected because the American taxpayer has to be protected too. But
and this one, okay.
this is an incredible agreement for Ukraine.
What's this?
Because
the seal.
we have a big investment in their country now, and what they have,
let's go over here.
very few people have, and we're able to really go forward with very, very high-tech things and many other things, including weaponry, weaponry that we're going to use in many locations, but that we need for our country. This allows us to do that.
Will you continue? Yeah, I'm sorry. Can I?
Yes, go ahead, please.
If I can just, yes. In the document, there is one of the very important points. If we speak about business and investment, we never had LNG terminals in Ukraine. This document will open. I mean, the next documents, but anyway, here we see in the framework, we see a really good will for this. LNG terminals for us is very important, and I think for security of European continent. We have the biggest storage, gas storage. We have the biggest in Europe. Yes. Yes, and we can use it.
All right,
use it for LNG. We use it for LNG, and we will do it.
Or
and really,
dead
we
tail, more like.
Europe, because Europe really helped. President Trump said that they made less support, but they have our friends.
Oh yeah, he's dead. He's elegant. Yeah, that's it.
They really
absolute fucking destruction. That's it.
That's
it.
They gave a lot, but they gave much less.
No.
Much less.
No. No.
Don't argue with it.
No.
Europe didn't give much less. Are you fucking insane? Of course it did. Gave so much less.
You have repeatedly called the deal with Ukraine as a historical one. And as a president of the United States, you make historical decisions in other issues which affect America and other world.
Oh, here we go.
So, what place in the world history do you want to take and associate yourself with any famous historical figures?
Abraham Lincoln, George Washington.
George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. I would say I'm far superior to George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. Now, you know I'm only kidding, right? Because when I say that, the fake news is going to go wild.
They sure are.
He considers himself to be better than Washington, but you never know.
It's so cool.
You never know. I don't compare myself to.
It's like going outside without having to go outside.
We've had a great 35 days or whatever it might be, a month, a little more than a month. We've accomplished tremendous amounts. Not only this would be a very great achievement if we could get the war stopped and get them back to normalization. I think that's going to happen. We've had very good talks on both sides, as you know, but I think we've done a very good job, just generally. If you look at all of the things we've done, and
is he like over there?
You're saying there's never been a opening for a president.
Oh, there he is. He's right
here. First month. There's never been a first month like.
Is he wearing?
Like we've had.
Oh, okay. He's
and
wearing
this
apron.
is one of the very important things. This, to me, is one of the most important things because.
I'm ready.
We have tremendous death taking place as we speak, and.
I wonder how well this is.
You know, think of the parents. Think of whether they're in Russia or Ukraine. Think of the parents of all these people being killed needlessly.
Easy.
Should have never started. This would have, if I were president, this would have never.
See ya.
Mr. President, will you continue sending military aid to Ukraine after the U.S. signed this agreement with Ukraine?
Yeah,
there we go.
Zelensky, do you feel like the U.S. is on your side? That the President Trump is on your side at this this moment?
What do you think?
He wants to know. Do you think that?
Hey, let me see.
Sort of a stupid question. I guess we wouldn't be here if I wasn't. But
I think that the United States on our side from the very beginning of occupation, and I think that President Trump on our side, and of course. I'm sure that the United States President will not stop support. This is crucial for us. It's important for us. Yes. And Putin, the president speaks about the people.
So nice, though. It's so pretty. It really is.
They came to our land. They began this war, and they have to stop. And
but I see.
This is the question.
Where to go?
Really, the most important question: can President Trump? I hope yes. With some other allies, stop Putin withdraw these enemies, our enemy, withdraw these troops from our land. And I think that you asked about the history.
Oh, I got it.
I think that if President or when he will stop it, President Trump will bring peace to our country.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't here.
On this wall.
Go right here.
We've had very, very good talks.
What about military aid to Ukraine?
President Zelensky just said that there'd be no compromises with Vladimir Putin. I just wanted to ask both of you. Firstly, are there compromises that you think that President Zelensky is going to have to make? And President Zelensky, is there anything that you think that you may be able to offer or bring to the table? For example, elections. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think you're going to have to always make compromises. You
Right.
can't do any deals without compromises. So certainly he's going to have to make some compromises, but hopefully they won't be as big as some people think you're going to have to make. That's all. It's all we can do. I'm here as an arbitrator, as a mediator to a certain extent between two parties that have
I don't know what this is.
been very hostile. To put it mildly, they've been very hostile. There's been a vicious war. There's been a vicious war. You know, it's a very level battlefield, and those bullets go out. And
Okay, I got
said
all
many
of them?
times, we were talking about it with Pete. Many times, the only thing stopping those bullets is a human body.
I
And
might as
in
well.
the
I
case
got
we're talking
everything.
about generally young
Almost, I
human
think.
bodies are stopping a lot of bullets. It's dead
That's
level.
over
That's
here,
what
yeah,
why it's great farmland. It's great land.
It's here.
It's great farmland, but there's very little protection
What is this?
against the bullets that are being
remember
and
that.
other things that are being shot. So all I can do is see if I can get everybody
Well, that's what I
at
wanted
the
to
table
do.
and get an agreement. And I think we're going to end up with an agreement. Otherwise, I wouldn't probably be even here today.
Hello, don't fly yet. Like,
Mr. President,
oh, oops, my bad. Sorry.
your legacy will be the peacemaker, not the president that led this country into another war and ended foreign wars.
Okay.
I hope it will. I mean, I hope I'm going to be remembered as a peacemaker. This would be a great thing if we could do this. I'm doing this to save lives more than anything else. Second is to save a lot of money, but I consider that to be far less important. So I hope I'm going to thank you, Brian, for that question. It was a nice question. I hope I'll be known and recognized as a peacemaker. This could be a great thing to solve. This is a very dangerous situation. You know, this could lead to a third world war. This was headed in the wrong direction. If this election were lost, if we didn't win this election, and by the way, we won it by a lot. That was a mandate. We won every swing state. We won the popular vote by millions and millions.
Democrats
of votes.
don't like that, that's for sure.
The districts, you look at the areas of red, take a look at a map. This was a big mandate, and this is one of the things. I said, we're going to get this thing settled. If we didn't win, I think this could have very well ended up in a third world war, and that would not.
Oh, of course it would. Kamala Harris wouldn't be able to do anything. She'd be so fucking useless and it'd be insane. What would she do? Be more incompetent than Biden.
Yeah, problems.
A lot of Americans have problems.
Really? I don't have such. I will wear a costume after this war will finish. Yes, maybe one. Maybe something like yours, yes. Maybe something better, I don't know.
What is that?
We will see.
Huh.
Maybe something cheaper. Yeah. Thank you.
What is that? Huh. Oh no. Oh, that's why. I was wondering why it's.
Yeah, we're going to have arms to Ukraine, yeah.
I'm just curious what this
Hopefully
is.
I won't have to send very much because hopefully we're going to have it finished. We're looking forward to finishing this quickly. We're not looking
that's
forward
what
to
this
sending
is.
a lot
Nice.
of arms. We're looking forward to getting the war finished so we can do other things. But we very much appreciate the agreement because we needed what they had, and we're treating, our country is now treated fairly. Biden didn't do that. He didn't know what the hell he was doing. This should have never happened. This should have never started.
That's right.
But, sure, the answer is yes, but hopefully we won't have to send much because I'm looking forward to getting it done quickly, very quick.
Oh shit!
I don't want to talk about security yet because I want to get the deal done. You fall into the same trap like everybody else. The Indian pastor said over and over, I want to get the deal done. Security is so easy. That's about 2% of the problem. I'm not worried about security. I'm worried about getting the deal done. The security is the easy part. Security is very nice. Everybody stops shooting. And now will Europe put people there? I know France is going to.
There you go.
I know the UK is going to. I know other countries are going to, and they happen to be right next door. we haven't committed, but we could conceivably. You know, we have security in a different form. We'll have workers there digging, taking the raw earth so that we can create a lot of great product in this country. So in that sense, you have something, but we haven't determined that
I didn't
yet.
see.
I will say, in speaking to France and in speaking to, and they were here, as you know, last week.
Wait a minute.
Just the other day.
Okay.
They have committed
I don't know if I saw the
a lot of security.
Okay,
I don't think you're going to need much security. I think once this deal gets done, it's over. Russia's not going to want to go back, and nobody's going to want to go back. When this deal ends, I really believe this deal is going to be over. Question? Yeah, please go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Thank you so
yeah.
much.
President, thank you.
Thank you.
Wait, if I look at the banner.
Praised your courage and conviction to lead the pathway towards peace.
Yes.
Part of that involved re-engaging with Russia in diplomatic relations, something that previous leaders lacked the conviction to do so. What gave you the moral courage and conviction to step forward and lead that?
Well, I love this guy. Who are you with?
One American News, sir.
Well, that's why I like him. One American News does a great job. I like the question. I think it's a very good question. It's a pathway to peace.
What? I don't want this one.
It's a pathway to
Fuck
getting
it.
something
Oh,
solved.
all right.
And I feel that as the head of this country, I have an obligation to do that.
But
plus,
fuck it.
you know, we're very much involved. We got involved.
Did I get that one? Yeah, I did.
It's too bad we got involved because there should have been no involvement because there should have been no war. And there shouldn't have been October 7th. That would have never happened. As you know, Iran was broke. They had no money to give to Hezbollah. They had no money to give to Hamas. They were stone cold broke. And then under Biden, they became rich as hell.
That's right.
They went from no money to $300 billion in a period of 4 years. And they gave a lot of that money away, and you see what happened. And that's a real mess also that we hope to be able to solve. But no, I appreciate your question very much. I feel I have an obligation to try and do something to stop the death.
If I can answer, yes. If I can answer,
please,
sorry, please.
And I do like your clothing, though.
Yeah, really?
Even though I think he's a great guy, by the way. But I don't know if you two like each other. But you know what? I think he's dressed. I think he's dressed.
I like this guy.
I think he's dressed beautiful.
So I have more serious things than
Can we do this now?
I will answer on more serious
That's a good
questions if I can.
Yeah,
so please, about security guarantees and about just ceasefire.
Oh,
just speak
in 3 days. Okay.
Speak. It will not work. Just ceasefire will never work because I'm like a president. I have this experience, and not only me. Ukraine before my presidency, from the 2014, Putin broken 25 times. 25 times he broken his own signature. 25 times he broken ceasefire.
But he never broke to me.
He
never broke to me.
No, you were the president.
He
were the president during.
He never broke to me.
In 2016, you've been the president, Mr. President. You've been the president, but he had, of course, not with you, but he had.
Okay, I think that's good enough for now.
Conversations with our side.
Yeah.
And we had Normandy format, the France, Germany, Ukraine, and Russia, and he broken 25 times. That's why we will never accept just ceasefire. It will not work without security guarantees. Security guarantees, maybe President is right about this document and other, but this document is not enough. Strong army is enough because his soldiers afraid. Putin's soldiers afraid of our soldiers. When
I got 4 likes in that one.
Strong enough, if we are empty. If
I don't know, me, I liked it too.
We
I
can't
think.
defend our land. Today, you know, he knows that we have all the world knows that we have meeting. Yes, why he's using ballistic?
Let me see here.
Putin today using ballistic on our hospitals, schools, and it says ballistic. So he knows that we are here and that President Trump is really have goodwill.
Okay, well that should be good enough. And so
you
I
hear
hope
now the president. So why he's using?
you enjoyed the time.
But I hope that we will do it. Really, we'll do it. Security. Security guarantees. When the Europeans are ready for contingents, they need USA backstop. if there will not be United States, we will not never have any contingents, strong contingents from the Europeans, because they don't want to divide alliance, connection between the United States.
Yeah, Zelensky is a scumbag. That's what he is. So good. Fuck him. So that's it. We don't like Zelensky, but you can like Zelensky. I don't like him. I always thought he was a scumbag. But you know, whatever. Anyway. Have fun, and I hope you have an opinion about Ukraine and Russia. I think they should just find peace.
He doesn't want. He hates us, you know.
But yeah, and you have to compromise. If you want peace, you need to compromise. That's it. Simple as that. So have a good day and take care.